News publications have documented for several years the lack of understanding of economics, financial literacy. It's nothing that's new. You ask most adults, regardless of their level of education, what economics is, and they probably have a hard time coming up with a really good definition. Most people, probably just like you guys would go the route of looking at it's the study of money, or it's about the government and its interaction with the economy, whether it be unemployment rates or inflation. None of these things are incorrect, but really having a grasp on the bigger picture of what economics is can really create some significant benefits for you in your life. In order to actually grasp what economics is, we first need to look at the most important term connected to economics, and that is scarcity. As a society, we are consistently dealing with a limited amount of necessary resources to be able to accomplish all the things we want to accomplish. As individuals, we're constantly dealing with a limited amount of time and a limited amount of money. Consider that you got $20 in your wallet and you and some friends are going to go out, eat some dinner, go to a movie. Now, $20 isn't a ton of money to be able to accomplish that, so you're going to have to make some choices to be able to make that work. You have to have enough money to be able to go to the movie, so that's probably a priority. You also have to decide, what are you going to eat? So you could choose, okay, maybe I'm not going to buy food at the movie theater because it's pretty expensive there. I can then go to dinner. Or you could decide you're going to use the money at the movie theater and, spend less on the dinner side of things. It doesn't really matter what your decision is. The problem is, though, you don't have enough of the resource that you want to be able to do everything that you want to do. Not only individuals, but also businesses are constantly making decisions based on scarcity. What goods should be produced? How many should we produce? How many employees should we have? Should we buy this expensive machinery or this cheaper one? All of those decisions are based on, obviously, the idea of maximizing profit, but then also based on the resources that are available to you at the time. Beyond individuals and businesses, governments are constantly making decisions based on scarcity as well. They have tax revenue that they're bringing in, and it is their job to try to make best use of that tax revenue through the spending that they're doing. Economics itself is actually the study of how we deal with scarcity. How do we make best use of those resources that we have at all of those levels, individuals, businesses, governments? It's a constant struggle of figuring out how to make best use because it's not unlimited. That's going to bring us to a couple other foundational concepts that we have to cover here before we get into anything else. First of all, we have to talk about opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the idea that every time you make one of these decisions based on scarcity, that you're going to have to give something up. Whatever it is that you give up is your opportunity cost. So in the example of the movie theater, right, if you choose that you're gonna get your movie ticket and you're gonna buy a $7 box of popcorn, then what you're gonna be giving up is a quality meal to go along with that. You're only gonna have a couple dollars left to be able to buy dinner, and if your friends are gonna wanna go to a nice place, you're not gonna be able to really do much with that. There's also a concept connected to opportunity cost that's been thrown around in economics for years, and that's the idea that there's no such thing as a free lunch. What that means, if you hear that, is that there's always gonna be a cost to any decision that we make. So regardless of how something is advertised or whatever, you're never getting anything for free because you're always making the choice. Even if you're not financially paying for something, somebody is, and resources were used in order to create that product. So how do we go about actually determining the value when making these decisions so that we know we're making the best choice? What we use in economics is a term called utility. Utility is just a measure of the benefit that we get from consuming a product. What's its satisfaction that it gives us? What's its usefulness that it brings to us? When you're making a choice and you're faced with, do I want popcorn at the movie or do I want a nicer dinner? The right answer doesn't matter to us. We don't have to agree, but we all have, what we're getting. If we really like movie theater popcorn and that's something we really look forward to, we might place more value or get more utility from that than we do from a nice dinner. So the choice is yours. So what can being more economically literate do for you? First and foremost, we're looking at decision making. You're constantly going to be faced with decisions. You constantly are right now, previously, and you're going to be faced with even more important decisions moving forward. And being financially and economically literate is going to help you make those decisions. You're going to be able to confidently explore your options, look at the costs and benefits, and make the best choice. If you have entrepreneurial aspirations, being economically literate is going to be massively helpful for you in making those decisions of how do you maximize profit. What I love so much about economics is that it's for everyone. If you're planning to go to college moving forward, if you're not planning on going to college and going into the workforce, everyone's going to be faced with decisions. And being able to use economic thinking to be able to make best use of your scarce resources is something that we can all benefit from.